when it's ready, I'll go. Bible Patrol, put it in the orders room too. That should be tuning in.
Shouldn't even have to do that, but they know that it's Sunday, you know. Con, audio's good. As a matter of fact, I heard
You
it,
can
brother,
check my
so-
page for Putty.
Hey, Shalom. We are the brothers of the Great Millstone, the branch here in Chicago.
Good.
And first and foremost, we want to give all praises, glory, and honor to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash.
Double honors unto the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, among the heathen that look like the heathen, and to the few Arkwaf that are listening and learning. We do wish you a hearty and sincere shalom. And as you see the name of the title, that the dollar is already dead. Most of the major nations, including European, EU, NATO nations, are not using the dollar anymore. And America's supposedly number one ally made the announcement that they're not using the dollar anymore, which is the state of Israel. The Israelis, not the Israelites, the Israelis. There is a huge difference. But before we, could somebody hold James, 5th chapter? But before we read, you got it up, Con. But before we get that, the scriptures has been heavy on my mind. Is that 2nd Ezra 16:73? If somebody could grab that first, because we're entering into the time, with all these false doctrines and people, especially these jakes that are still caught up in white superiority, extreme Christianism, Christian extremism, and being a Muslim and all these, and then you got these jakes out here that are Old Testament only, or these jakes out here that teach these gospels that teach these false doctrines that the Edomites can make it, and that whole sort of thing. The J-Brews, we call them, the ones that teach that Japhet is the so-called white man. All that stuff, and which has all been proven to be wrong over and over again. But pride and ignorance, a lot of these people just refuse to look at the truth, man. And whether you like it or not, the men of the Great Millstone, they them guys, man. They those are the real prophets of the Lord, man. Right. And the brothers who teach the likewise doctrine. That's that body of Yahweh Shai, man. And it's going to be proved. That's going to be shown and proven very soon. If somebody could read that, Bobby Shai.
I got it. This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, verse 73. It says, "Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire. Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord. Behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same."
Right. So only the beloved are going to be delivered out of these days that are at hand. And if you start reading that chapter, you go into like the first, which we might touch, if the Spirit permits, like the first 10 verses, break it all down, man. You in Jacob's trouble and beyond. And if the Lord is not with you, man, it's going to be pretty bad for you. You truly are looking at death by pain, man. All right, because a lot of you, are gonna starve. Many of you are gonna get put to death by the sword, by your own people, by the Edomites, by other heathen. Some of you are gonna be eaten. Some of you are actually gonna eat people. It's gonna get sick out here, man. All right, and then them stormtroopers are gonna come, and if the Lord, if you don't have that covering, man. Like that sister yesterday, talking about some Ahaya Yeshaya and all that other mess, man. She got corrected and she took it, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's gonna be found out who the Lord's chosen are very, very soon, man. We're gonna see.
God, peace out.
Check it out, brother.
Isaiah 8:20. To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. Simple, straight to the point. Like I said, the doctrine has been tried 7 times, okay, and refined, and is on point right now. It's absolutely on point right now. All the dog sayings and everything else has been cleaned up. Oh, okay. All of them been broken down and
Revealed.
speeched out the whole deal. So there's no confusion as to what's absolutely being said. So if you still caught up in the things like that, Elder Malcolm was saying, then it's not meant for you. Like one of Big Ox's favorite scripture, I thank thee, okay, because it was shown to babes and not to so-called men of this world, okay. So
I got something.
yeah.
It's Jeremiah 15 and 2. And it shall come to pass, if they say unto thee, whither shall we go forth? Then thou shalt tell them, thus saith the Lord, such as are for death to death, and such as are for the sword to the sword, and such as are for the famine to the famine, and such as are for the captivity to the captivity. And I will appoint over them four kinds, saith the Lord. The sword to slay, and the dogs to tear, the fowls of the heaven, and the beasts of the earth to devour and to destroy. So the Lord got judged. He's gonna judge the wicked, period, in different ways, man.
That's it.
The Lord's only gonna be with his elect and protect them in the time of trouble.
That's right.
It's good. And that forest sort of Jersey was echoed a couple of different places in the scriptures.
Yeah.
And Jake doesn't understand. That all ties into Jacob's trouble. All right. When the Lord puts that judgment on Jake, that final judgment, it's going to be what Amos says was it's going to be like running from
A bear.
a lion.
Yeah, the bear met you.
And then you get away from the lion, and then you think you got a moment, but then there's the bear.
Whoa.
As soon as you're running from the bear, you think you finally escaped to the house. You think you're straight, and as soon as you put your hand on the wall, you get bit. And the thing is, you don't forget, you get bit by the poison. That means you get got. Right?
And to die by the poison is worse.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's
Slow,
horrible.
Yes,
agonizing,
man.
and painful. Matter of fact, you got a lot of people that's dying by snake poison right now. Just saying.
Just came out saying
Around the
this.
whole world.
That's
You
it.
know, they just arrested the vice president of Pfizer on Thursday.
Oh yeah.
So, you know,
wow.
the vice president of Pfizer got arrested over them documents being released because all the evidence of the damages and, and all the deaths and all the stuff. And they can't do nothing because that's not misinformation. It's accurate, true information. YouTube. All right? It's public information now. So,
It's funny you say that because, like I said, they scheduled me to work someplace that I used to work because somebody didn't come in. They put me down there, and one of the girls that's kind of, understanding that, not taking the venom and all this other kind of stuff. Anyway, she had been telling me, but I hadn't seen this other female.
That's
that
crazy
was
you called it venom.
Big on all the stuff, yeah, you need to do this.
Stay venom free.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally.
So anyway, I saw her today, and when I saw her today, I was able to really see her, and she went from kind of a plump Edomite to looking like the crypt keeper.
now, she lost that much weight?
That much weight.
It really made her sick, huh?
That much weight. It's like the girl that you saw, and all of a sudden, damn girl, how long you been smoking? Like you dried up like a prune.
Wow. There it is, man. I got a report that I'd like to read. Anybody hold anything at the moment? All right, we still holding that James, right?
That's correct.
This is the Money Metals Insider, and or the money from the Money Metals Exchange. And I got the winter volume. I guess it comes out every 2 or 3 months. And then I have the one that just came out, fall. So the spring. So this was only a couple days old. All right. So I'm going to read this older one first. And they talked about the outlook of gold and silver play on and how it said. And I'm just start. It said after an overall disappointing year for gold and silver markets, metal investors are looking ahead to 2022. So let me go to this back and forth between Representative Alex Mooney, who was a leader in sound money issues, and the U.S. Treasury, and how the U.S. Treasury refused to answer questions about the deposition of its own gold. All right, somebody look up that word deposition real quick. Because that's if I'm not mistaken, finance is supposed to be public information for all citizens to know and understand,
Correctly.
so they can adjust.
Accordingly.
If I'm not mistaken,
Yeah,
I'm
no,
not,
no.
right? Okay, all right. Just want to make sure I wasn't going off.
You mentioned definition.
Baba Kishah, whoever got it.
Deposition, removal from an office or position, the act or process of depositing, the state of being deposited or precipitated, something that is deposited.
Now, why couldn't they just say that? Then see, that's Esau using, newspeak and his poison and legalese. All they have to do was say about the deposits. So basically, the deposits of gold for the safety of America and its own treasury are in question. And they didn't want to answer the questions. Why would you not want to answer those questions to American citizens and people who are involved in finances and money with the government? So, let's start with the 5 questions. Question number 1. How much of this gold is kept at the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, although the Government Accountability Offices although the Government Accountability Office does provide some information? Well, they didn't provide enough information because no one knows, and they refuse to answer that question.
Got it.
All right.
Can we speak on it? Gentleman that I worked with, that was military, that had that duty.
That duty.
Protecting that, nothing there. So what
You just
we
got soldiers walking around Fort Knox.
exactly.
So you can just walk around with empty magazines because
It's a front. It's like it's a front. Yeah.
Young man wanted to know when he got that duty, considering what was supposed to be there, we don't seem to have enough guards. He told him that should give you an understanding there.
All right. Well, question number 2. All right. Remember, these are questions from Representative Alex Mooney. All right, who's a leader in the sound money issues. He asked him why Treasury gold is kept at the New York Fed. So, and he said, why would it be at the Fed and not at and why would it not be at Fort Knox where it's supposed to be for the whole country? All right. Question number 3. Somebody get the is that Job 13:4 to be found and what's the one of my favorites? Deuteronomy 33:29, I think. They should be found liars. Verse 3, it says, whether any of the treasury gold at New York's Fed has recently been audited, assayed, or in inventory. So, why isn't he answering any of these questions? Number 4, whether the treasury gold held at the New York Fed is segregated from gold vaulted there by other nations. Wow. That's a good question.
I mean, you remember what happened with China when they came to where they go?
Yep.
And they found out it was
Tungsten.
part of tungsten.
Yeah.
Gold laid over.
Yeah.
Gold plated.
Tungsten layered with gold.
Yeah, the top was all gold and then everything under it. Yeah. All right.
Verse. Other countries don't trust America either. They know their MO. It's been discovered.
Verse 5 is, question number 5, the last one. How much treasury gold is part of the IMF's gold holdings, nor were treasury gold assigned to the IMF is kept, nor the purpose of the assignment of the treasury gold to the IMF. So how much gold is for, I think that's International Monetary Fund
Yes.
versus what's for America.
Yeah.
So, and he's answering none of these questions. All right, so this is what finishes. It said Nagali did say that the Treasury Department of the U.S. Mint did not engage in gold or gold derivatives transactions through the Bank of International Settlements, other central banks or governments, but this did not exclude the Federal Reserve's use of Treasury gold for such transactions. So the Fed, which is not a part of your government at all, which is a privately owned bank, it seems that the Fed is holding all the gold and the revenue for America, and Fort Knox has none. Because he asked why. What was it? What was that question? What he said? Why treasury? Yeah, whether the treasury gold held at the New York Fed is segregated from the gold value vaulted there by other nations. No, that wasn't it. Number 2, why treasury gold is kept at the New York Fed? So why is the Fed which is a privately owned institution holding on to. And see, this is why they want to shut down the internet. This is part of their Agenda 21 and a part of their New World Order, because they want to stop all information. They don't want people to know things, and they want to be able to dictate. All right, and these are legitimate questions, man. If Americans had any sense, man, the Fed will be burnt down.
Facts.
You know, that's how you know that BLM. I always say that BLM is a white organization with a so-called black name, so that they can do certain things, and then and no blame is on white people. It's on the black people, which BLM is not for black people. All right, it's not. They got some alphabet lifestyle women as faces of it. But all the BLM supporters are all up on the north side in white neighborhoods. I have yet to see a BLM in the window of anybody in the hood yet. In any business, none of that. All the businesses all throughout Bucktown, Andersonville, Lincoln Park, all the businesses on the homes in the neighborhoods. You see Hyde Park, you see BLM. You never see that in the hood, man. And though Hyde Park sits in the hood, Hyde Park is a separate little entity from the hood. All right? So you don't see it. So the Americans are really, what was that president? I think that was one of the Bushes that said if these people knew what we were doing to them, they would all hang us, or something to that effect. There was a quote. It was one of the Bushes that said it.
Bushes?
Recent, yeah, I think it was one of the. I think it was Daddy Bush, because Baby Bush was just a fucking dumbass who had his father's name.
Exactly.
All right, that was pretty much it. Living off legacy. All right, and then I'm gonna read this next one. Matter of fact, get that James first. And then
the book of James, chapter 5, verse 1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days. Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth. And the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth.
go ahead and break it down, brother.
The Lord of the armies of Israel. Here it is. The Edomites they gathered all riches to them, and for what? It's not going to profit them anything, man. You know.
Hey, what the proof is that you got the videos on Facebook of the truckers that's showing all of the dumbs that they got of them driving and dropping off truckloads of goods in the middle in the middle of a fucking mountain. They drive miles inside of a mountain and they dropping off goods in the mountain. They don't get to go inside to see nothing. They just pull reverse in, they take it out and they pull out. You know what I mean? But a lot of truckers say that it's damn near it's tunnels that go through the whole of America, man.
Yeah, I heard one trucker say that the furthest he ever got to the ground in the tunnels was 2,000 miles, man. That might drive me crazy, man.
God.
He drove 2,000. That was the furthest.
It's tunnels all under.
I know that they got them under the Denver airport, and supposedly tunnels from Denver airport go all the way to D.C.
God damn.
So, and then I'm sure they got ones from Denver that actually go out west too. Probably go to, so they can crisscross the whole country underground, man.
Wow.
Which is why they think they can build their guns and go under there.
Right, but then
get,
just to land back off what Rapaya just read, and they heaped up all this gold. Another reason why everything is so volatile is because it's really Amalek and a few other Edomites that he allowed to be a part of his conglomerate, that they left the rest of the Edomites out. They left the rednecks and the low-level Edomites out, and that's why there's so much hatred from groups like the Ku Klux Klan and different patriot groups against ACLU and Jewish groups and things of that nature, because they left them out of the blessing. The Jewish people put themselves in a position by being the bankers to where they were able to hoard everything to themselves, and then they call portions of their own people Goyim when they're all when you're all Goyim, because you Jewish people are not the Israelites. You're not the Lord's people. You're Goyim yourself. All right, and for anybody's feelings who's hurt about with the Russian president, finance minister. I know he used to be. I think he was part of defense many years ago.
Yeah.
But when he said that Hitler was Jewish, well, he is. His mother and father were both Jewish.
Yeah.
All right, so that was just
And we used to bring that
and
information
we used
out
to bring it
years
out all
ago.
the time,
Solid
you know.
Russia.
Now it's coming
his
out.
mother and his father is coming out, and they're getting angry. So you know, start screaming anti this and anti
Motherfucker
that.
Putin,
You know,
Joe.
and, no, and that's
Watch the
what
video.
kills me, man. You
You
got
learning.
the smoking gun, the evidence, but they want to kill the messenger. You know, it's just like with Snowden. Snowden should be a goddamn hero, man. He exposed crime at the highest level in government, and, you know, from the president to corrupt vice presidents and army generals, you know, marine generals and soldiers and all this other stuff. Because, you know, and then you know what happened to all the gold from Iraq?
Right.
I mean, you know, you went in there and y'all killed Saddam Hussein. There was no weapons of mass destruction, and you knew it. So you made movies and made heroes out of
pallets of
snipers
gold.
and soldiers who were killing people in their own land, who never had any weapons of mass destruction, who never did any terroristic acts. As a matter of fact, the terrorist acts were done against them. But there goes that white Christian extremism again. You know,
We discovered you.
like the girl said, you know, the crossroads of the road, man. Wherever, any place where Edomite people, did you close that door, brother? Any place in history, any time and place in history where so-called white people cross with any other people that aren't white, melanated, tawny, swarthy people, rape, robbery, murder, and is done. Disease is spread. Land is taken. Resources is taken. All in the name of white Christian love. All right. The more they love you, the more you're raped, killed, murdered, and your heritage is taken. You know. Next, you know, they only take your land, then they call themselves by your name. You know, and then give you some abstract name that they just made up to fit that false narrative. All right. Go ahead, brother.
I don't want to put this. Sirach 14:3. Riches are not comely for a niggard. And why should an envious man do with money? That word niggard means a greedy person, and that's Esau. That's why we have an American. Really, what's spread worldwide is capitalism. All right, because it said what in that James 5? It says he hold it back with fraud. So you got people. It's trending. You know, even niggas are talking about it now how they can't even afford to just live. All right, because they're well, strap yourself by the. But they scoffing at the old saying. Strap yourself up by the bootstraps. Right. Do this, do that. And they like, at this point, I'm gonna have to have 5 jobs basically, or go hustling and commit illegal activities. All right, but meanwhile, the people that own these companies, they live in lavish as fuck, man. More money than men can spend in 10 lifetimes. All right, but that's the spirit of Edom, man. And what would an envious man do with money?
And he's doing it to his own people too.
Yeah,
that's the killer part, man.
Yeah.
What's that scripture? Him to do evil to himself. But go ahead, brother.
It's the same. It's coming up. He that gathers by defraud his own soul, gathers for others that shall spend his goods righteously. So they storing these things up, but look, we're going to be the ones that reap the benefits of that, man. All right, well, willing with elect, we're going to spend that gold up, man. We're going to show you how to use it. We're going to put it on our fucking streets. All right, you ain't even using it, man. You just want to say you got it. That's retarded. He that's evil to himself.
When you're not royalty, you don't know how to live a royal life. He a base man. He a peasant. A peasant. What a peasant know about real wealth?
He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his own goods. And that's Edom, man. He's evil to his own people. He don't even want to shut up with them. There's plenty to go around. He don't even want to help them out, man.
Yeah. Well, you know, in their evidence in the scriptures, that Amalek was the same way in the ancient world.
Yeah.
Right?
Right, because in all nations there is from the least to the greatest, from the greatest to the least. There's your elite of every nation, and here it is. The elite don't care about the commoners of
their own people.
Yeah.
That's a little more. There is none worse than he that envieth himself, and this is a recompense of his wickedness. And that goes back to the serpent. That's his judgment, man. All right, because what the Lord tells her, you should go upon your belly. His judgment is to go upon his belly, go up his desires. And in doing that, he don't care about nobody else, man. He's going to gather this shit up for himself. And also, it's lead him to his own destruction. Because what he got, the man owed 99% of the damn world. He ready to blow the whole world up to get the 1% he can't get, man.
Right.
He ready to bring on nuclear war for the 1% he can't have, man.
Wow.
He's a beast.
Brute beast, yep.
It's mine. I
be
want it.
satisfied. It's hell. Yeah.
I got a precept on.
If I can say this real quick, because the spirit that you read that it says that even snakes eat themselves in certain environments.
Yeah, I've seen snake eat other snakes, man. But you can bring out that saying, Baba Kashab, before we lose it. Because, like I said, these people, and Americans, and even Jake started to get angry.
Yeah.
The Edomites are already pissed, you know.
Yeah, the Edomite said it's not black versus white anymore. It's the rich versus the poor.
And see, and right. So now, because now what's happening is Edomites are starting to live and feel what Jake has been feeling all along.
They catching it with a blunt.
And they completely they do not like it, man. And some of them are committing suicide, and then some of them are actually ready to fight. And that just goes to show you how Esau really is confused and sitting in the dust, because he weakened even himself for the battle, man. Because now not only people, because what happened was that the common Edomites were able to hide behind the false created narrative of whiteness. Right. And now whiteness has been stripped away, and whiteness, and actually in a lot of cases whiteness is a curse onto you today. You know, you're getting called a colonizer, and all your history is coming out. Mm-hmm. That's why they're so angry with this critical race theory. All right, when it shouldn't be called that, it should just be called American history. Because it shouldn't be called that, right? It just should be called American history, because that's your history, or Edomite history. All right, but it just goes to show you how they sitting in the dust, because they're completely at war with everyone and themselves, man. All right, but if you could read that saying, he found the saying that I was trying to, and it was Daddy Bush.
It says George H.W. Bush, Daddy Bush, once said, "If the American people ever found out what we have done, they will chase us down the street and lynch us."
There you go. They would be chased down the street and get lynched, man. You know, we all saw how the what happened on, what was that, January 6th of 2021. You know, even though it was set up.
Right.
But it'll be a lot like that and way worse. And that time is coming, man. Mm-hmm. Because especially as more people begin to drop, close that door. As more people begin to drop from the venom, you know.
And it's kind of the spirit that through the spirit, that's what we've been calling it, and that's what it happened to be anyway.
And as more people, we've been calling it venom, and that's what happened to be. And as more people get sick and die for that, I'm telling you, that wrong person gonna die. And I said it yesterday jokingly, but he gonna have that damn Army Ranger daddy and Force Recon father, right? Yep. And they gonna paint up they face.
That's the plot of so many movies
and go Rambo.
It is.
And they gonna go Rambo on the and right, and then they crazy ass guys that serve with them. It's gonna ride with them.
Yep. Hey, you just seen, we just watched the video, dude.
Right.
Patriots.
Because that's a big reason why they're trying to take the guns away too.
That's a big reason why they're trying to. Because you got to remember that document that all those what was it? What was the character Rambo? What was he a part of? He was a
Green Beret.
Green Beret. He was a Green Beret. You had 1,000 Green Berets out of document about 5 years back or something like that. It was about a good maybe 4 or 5 years ago, but 1,000 of them basically signed a document saying that they would fire the first shots against the government if they tried to go get rid of the Second Amendment. If they tried to take the guns away from the citizens, that they would fire the first shots. And if Green Berets, 1,000 ex-Green Berets got together, how many Marine Force Recon, Army Rangers, Scouts, and all
be a lot of dead mother. Yeah.
You know, exactly.
The whole
So
you're right. The whole
because a lot of them still got family members that are serving.
They'd have put them on to go to the military.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we always say that a lot of these police officers and militia guys are still, you know, a lot of these military guys and police officers are part of these militias.
Yep.
Right.
Well, the
part of these
police,
state militias.
well, a lot of the police is the military because they come out the military
exactly.
and they go
and they become cops. It's a common thing, man. It's a common thing for a guy to leave the military and become a cop. Man, I almost did it. The water I did not do it, but But yeah, that's just
Yeah.
my point.
I-
Majority of these police, law enforcement, are part of your militias, whether they be state troopers to city cops. And a lot of your reserves and a lot of your active duty are also part of these state militias. All right, they're patriots and they're all about their country and all about whiteness, man. All right, and when somebody starts screaming USA, USA, that's really a way of saying white Americans. There's a connection to that.
Right.
What make America great again? That is a connection to that, man.
Right.
Bring them out, brother.
It's Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their bed. When the morning is like they practice it because of the power of the hand, like y'all saying. They do this to their own people, man. You know, in the power of their hand, they devise a wickedness against their own people. You know, heaping up all the riches, not helping each other. That's that Egyptian versus Egyptian. You know, that's what it's going into, you know, because these people hate themselves. They oppressing their own heritage.
Hey.
Not only that they oppress our heritage, they oppressing their own shit.
Hey, shit, Esau getting poisoned right along with the Israelites. And the poison that's in the food is destroying the Edomites and the rest of them worse than it's getting to Jake.
Hey.
And it's Edomites at my job, you know, at a steel mill. Jake been working there 40 years. They ain't never been to a doctor, ain't got no cancer. Esau in there breathing them chemicals, got hip replacements, then got cancer, then chemotherapy. You all fucked up. Esau is the one that's really dying from this.
And a lot
You know?
of foods is poison in whole foods. Like, that's poison. That's not even real food. They tell you it's organic. But I did a whole video on it how
It's a sticker.
With them people that control that
The FDA?
Yeah, the FDA. They all that food and whole foods is fake. It's just a better. It ain't a better poison. It's just so they can make money off it.
Cause all food, all food.
It looks better.
Designer.
Yeah, well, cause all food has pesticides on it. If it's grown in the farm, all food has pesticides on it. They do it to keep the animals and kill off the animals so they can have crops. All the food, right. You got to go to the farm. If you go anything mainstream, you pretty much a sellout. You know what I mean? You know.
They sell organic grapes.
Folly.
It has that possible. Right.
It's
a sticker.
Spend your money, make more money off of you, make you feel good, looking stupid, and you run around getting all these health problems and eating all these unorganic foods that you got slapped organic on, and I'm dying and being sick.
I go for that the snake bite too. A lot of them took the snake bite. A lot of Edomites are dropping fucking dead. Like the elder was saying.
Children too.
Children. Yeah, that's really what's gonna set them off.
That's
too.
what's gonna make them dudes start painting
You
their
know,
faces, man.
when fucking little Tommy dropped dead and shit. You know.
Timothy.
I got a piece of this. Job 20:22. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him, and that wicked goes in the laborer. Like the elder was saying, man, be you part of the Department of Defense, a veteran, a fucking police officer. It don't even matter, man. These people are gonna put that war paint on and really go insane. Like I said, man, they're seeing their rights being stripped. They're seeing inflation kicking their ass, the cost of living kicking their ass, job loss kicking their ass.
Hey.
All right, health problems.
So what? How can we talk about the economy? I almost forgot to mention. I'm glad you said that. 4 billion people quit the. Now look, this is the narrative they pushing. They said 4 million people quit their jobs last month. All what we know for sure is 4 million people 4 million people are now newly jobless, man. And the reason why I say how can they be quitting? Something is fishy going on with the numbers, because then they say 6 million new jobs, new hires happened, but then the numbers went up towards 11 million unemployed now. You know, it doesn't make sense. If 4 million new quit, how did 6 million get jobs and the numbers of unemployed increased?
Right.
Esau is losing work, man. The economy's through. The workers don't want to pay. They did videos on it about how all these jobs got help wanted signs out. They still not hiring nobody. You know, even on the comment board, I was looking at the video, and people on the comment board, they still ain't hiring. 4 million new jobs, they still hiring. These people are looking for jobs and can't get work. Esau was getting rid of these motherfuckers, or shortening hours so much to where it's not profitable to even work there
And
no
what-
more.
well-
So then they got to quit to go look for something else, still to be
And-
unsuccessful.
and another-
robotics and automation is killing them too. That's
Yes.
where they want to go. Because we just saw the video of the dude in the Uber with driverless Uber
In Arizona.
Eventually that's gonna
Yeah.
be your delivery trucks.
Well, that's in Arizona. They got that big in Arizona.
They got it
The
big.
Domino's, everything got
That's
drivers.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah,
They doing
yeah,
with the
yeah.
food.
That was a violent fashion, so happy. You like, oh, this car driving myself.
What's funny is that
my own music.
they had that same thing on that hot tub hot tub time machine too.
Yep.
The
showed
shit.
you
Even the fucking goddamn
The
car
dude had the
shit,
and dude had a dress on.
Yeah.
And when he had a dress on, he was like, "What the fuck?" He was like, "What's wrong?" You know what I'm saying? But he had the dress on, and they made it seem like it was a normal
It
thing.
was
And
normal
what you see what they pushing now, man.
which is what they're trying to push.
What they pushing now.
That humanism, that trans, that AI.
That's the spirit.
It's a lot. Now they call in 5 hours, 4 hours, like 5 hours of work. Now they call it full time.
So that's full time for 5 hours.
Yeah, 5 hours.
Wow.
Full time.
That's okay. That makes sense. 'Cause I was trying to figure out the secret to it. That's why they said they quit. Motherfuckers get squeezed out their job.
And then you still getting hit with taxes.
Right.
And but you don't qualify to get government substance.
That
Right.
is.
But
Right.
but you making too much money for government substance, but yet you're not making enough money to survive. Man, this man is really he's
And
a
it-
monster,
I
man.
got 2 precepts for you.
Con, and I'm gonna read what you sent me, brother. That letter,
Oh, con.
yeah, you found it. This is what I mentioned about those Green Berets, and this was in 2016. So it said, and this is by Lawrence Schofield. That's one of them small headers. Director of Operation at Longgate Disaster Relief. This was the open letter and posted on 29 January 2013. Right, shortly after the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting, a group of current and former U.S. Army Special Forces soldiers started talking about making a statement. One to the website Professional Soldiers. After a month of back and forth edits, re-edits, and re-edits, it was finally ready, and it was sent out privately to every Special Forces soldier available with request that if they agreed with it, they be willing to sign their name. The list was not made public, but it was 100% verified that every single person put their name down graduated the Special Forces qualification course and was authorized to wear the Green Beret and the Special Forces tab.
Okay.
After what happened in Orlando, I thought it was important to put it back to everyone to reread. I am honored that I'm able to put my name on that list. All right, Lawrence Schofield, Presso Lieber, 1,000 Green Berets signed letter supporting the Second Amendment. So, as you see, man, you got Americans that are ready. They ready for the get down, man. All right, and plus a lot of them. It's also going to be an excuse for them to get rid of a lot of brownies too, just like they showed you in the Forever Purge. And she was like, the purge is over." He's like, "No.
Not yet.
No." He said the purge is forever. Go ahead, brother.
This is Isaiah 19 and 2. And I will set I'm starting at 1. The burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt. And that's the end of all of them. Yahweh Shai is going to come in the chariot, Isaiah 63:1 stuff, you know. And the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And we're saying that the heart of Egypt is through America being modern day Egypt. All right, the morale in this place, everything that made America great, it's all failing. From democracy to having the grasp over the world, especially with its currency, controlling the markets, all that. Hey, this place is through. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And it's going to be just all out violence out here. And a part of that violence and the cause of that violence is going to be that dog-eat-dog spirit being multiplied because of the lack of resources people are going to be able to get. All right, this is Isaiah 19, jumping down to verse 14. The Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst of the Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof. As the drunken man staggereth in his vomit, neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or the tail, branch or rest may do.
That's right.
So Esau's economy is crashing, his morale is going down, and they lose their fucking jobs. And that's prophecy. So what's next? Violence, man.
That's right.
Look, it's a lot of people that's driving Uber and shit. I done had Uber drivers.
And they be mad.
Yes, Edomites.
They be mad. These Edomites are enraged that are driving Uber.
You know what I'm saying?
And Lyft.
I had one, this is a true laugh saying, who are you trying to convince, me and yourself? She's telling me how she lost her career, and she's been there for years, and she's driving Uber. So, you know, I'm okay with it, though. The good part is I can make my own schedule. That was the to make it feel better. Like, well, at least I can make my own schedule. But another one was Edomite. He kind of seemed, you know, the military Edomites got a certain spirit about them. Their posture is perfect. You know, everything is weird about him. He was telling me it. And he said, look, after he finally was cool enough to talk, he said it. And I love this story because the one thing he said was, well, they're not going to take our guns because of us that want to keep our Second Amendment right. Meaning we're willing to fight for our Second Amendment right. And that was his hope. Like, it's going to be a battle if you want to take their guns, man. It's going to be bloody out here. It ain't talking about niggas.
It ain't niggas you got to worry about.
Esau finna be on Esau ass, man.
Yeah.
Hey,
the niggas is just gonna be an easy, right? They gonna be in the crossfire, get rid of convenience.
Right.
You know what? While we going after these guys with guns, we can go ahead and
kill a couple niggas
in
the way.
right here too.
Yeah.
Hey, and at my job too, going into the job, they talking about it's a steel shortage. So what's happening? They can't run as the correct steel for certain things. So a lot of times we don't got enough steel to finish the order, or we got to skip a whole lot of orders because the mill can't run without you got to go on the order of the order sheet. And they said in a couple by next month, they said ain't gonna be no steel to run the mill that I'm running. They say for a month they ain't gonna be able to order no steel because everything is so bagged up they can't order shit. So he like, so what the fuck they finna do with us? You got guys that's been working there 20 and 40 years on the same line, you know, and it's like, what the fuck, you know what I'm saying?
Close it down all over.
Gun.
That's what we discussed.
The factory in the neighborhood.
Yep.
Gun.
Said, well, you didn't need no college degree. You had a house, a 3 or 4 bedroom house, a car for your wife,
Shit.
all
Nigga
off the
got
daddy's
I-8.
salary.
Nigga
Right? The family was together.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, they sent all them jobs over because they was like, wait, these niggas living too good.
Exactly.
Right? Matter of fact, because that you know, in the 70s and early 80s, you had a lot of jakes that was getting cars in high school like Esau.
Thank you.
You know?
Thank you.
You know, and they, you know, exactly. That all changed because they sent all the jobs away.
Yep.
Yep.
And that's also part of
And
Esau.
made college, you know,
A new thing, right.
Versus being able to work with your hands, being a carpenter, electrician, you know, a plumber, and those, and like the brother said in that one video, those are skills that pay the bills. Man.
That's right.
You know, a guy that can do heating and air conditioning and simple things like that that are needed in everyday life,
That's
man.
right.
And then in a lot of these jobs, a lot of these old heads, what they're doing is they're retiring early because they don't want to lose their pension. So in the mill I'm at, in the company I'm at, you got guys I'm talking about damn near the whole company, and it's a Jake I work with. He like, I'm getting out of here.
And
I'm gone. I'm just this it.
Because the government is still into taking people's pension.
Gun.
That's
So
right.
they thinking they
going. You gonna have dude just over that, putting on that down, right?
Gun.
He'll be like, "Oh, this did stole
My
my
father lost his
pension."
picture.
Right? He'll start painting their face, man. You know,
My country back.
And it's funny you say that because when I was working at a powdered metal company.
which they get that from Gad, by the way, Salakia.
Yeah.
That whole war paint thing.
Camouflage.
You know, they
Yeah.
get that from Gad.
But that powdered metal company, and they
bro.
jacked up they had jacked up the retirement program back then, and this guy was a tunnel rat, like Elder Nate was.
Like staff son to you.
Yeah.
My platoon sergeant was a tunnel rat.
Yeah.
Crazy ass. dude.
Exactly. And I don't think y'all gotta understand. A tunnel rat goes down into a hole, and he don't know what's down there. He don't know how many men are down there, or whatever the case.
A lot of
might be.
tunnel rats went in there, they never came out.
Exactly.
So-
That too. Exactly. So and they did that to him, and I was working there. That was one of the things that made me leave that job because it was like I watched him lose like $700,000 on his retirement, and was told this company wide 24 hours after the fact on a newsletter that came over the computers that we was using that he had lost 700,000, or he had like $1.3 million or something like that, and he had lost over 700,000 of his retirement pension.
You didn't put all that money in there.
No, it was quite the stocks that the bank would buy back, and when they messed around and did that so-called China rat, I was like, I'm getting it back.
This dude about to come back.
He gonna lose it. I don't know what. And he was mad. His wife wasn't giving him no butt. He couldn't get no young butt. And his son was jacking off the education he was trying to get. Trying to pay for.
Oh, he was just enraged.
He was on that mode. I was like, he gonna snap and make the news.
She's like, well, I quit. See you guys tomorrow.
This is Ecclesiastes 4, and I'm gonna start at 13. Better is a poor and wise child than an old foolish king who will no more be admonished. Esau was that foolish king. Look, this man ruled from Greece to Rome. He still don't know how to keep his kingdom going. America's literally falling the same way Rome fell. Outsourcing and stretching their armies too fucking thin.
Roads tearing up.
Yep. Next verse. For out of prison he comes to reign. Of course, after the Dark Ages, he came back out of the caves. That's the prison he got taken out of. Because Esau is Satan that was locked up for 1,000 years in them caves. That's why it was called the Dark Ages. It says, for out of prison he cometh to reign. As also he that is born in his kingdom becometh poor.
That's right.
No matter how great America was going to get, it was always set up that you citizens was going to learn what it feels like to be Israelites. I was going to become poor like us, man. Welcome to our world.
I just said that in the car.
All is very deep.
I just said that the elder Malcolm was in the car, like, welcome to the bottom of the run, nigga. Welcome to the bottom run of the lap.
Yeah, Jeremiah prayed about it. He said he looked for us day that they be like unto us.
Oh yeah, look at the Lamentations.
God.
The first chapter.
Good one.
Welcome to the bottom of the run.
There are always unrighteous dealings. Always is a recipe to
For
go,
the
go down, for your money to fail, for just you to go down.
With a whole credit-based system is robbery, it's thief, it's a debt-based system. And Esau's whole thing is, all right, we'll give you this money, but you pay us back with interest. You will never be able to get out of debt. You'll always be in debt. You never own nothing. You always paying on something that really wasn't worth, goddammit, a quarter of what the fuck you didn't pay for, which goes into usury. The fucking credit-based system is all fucking usury.
Hey, the scripture said that goes back to what Malcolm said earlier. They fucked their own people up because in the law we couldn't commit usury to our own nation. We could commit usury to the heathens. What Esau should have did if they was fair, keep the other Edomites away from the usury and just hit us with it. But Esau is an old foolish king, and he's a greedy bastard, man.
That's right.
Man.
Yeah, because that would have kept his people cool.
Yeah.
Shit, we ain't paying taxes.
Sword over us.
Those niggas are paying taxes.
I got one more salaki, bro.
Right, they wouldn't tell on each other.
Right.
There wouldn't be no Edomites running Black Lives Matter.
Right.
I saw a video yesterday, Yachi. It was the Gadites. The Gadites not offended at none of the redskin shit, none of that. They say that's part of our culture. We put war paint on. They happy about the Apache helicopters, all that. It's all Edomites that's mad about the shit. It's like when you say the word nigga. Ain't nobody mad about using that word but Edomites. You know? That's because they trying to please the poor because they reproach. And they ain't mad they ain't mad about what happened. They ain't mad they not getting a cut of it. You know? Proverbs 22:7, the rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is serving to the lender. The whole credit-based system was so Esau can stay and rule over the people, man. But he did that and ruled over his own instead of giving them a little piece of the fucking pie. And whiteness no more up.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And, you know, Theodore Allen and Dr. Ballard helped bring that to light.
And now we see
You can't hide behind white no more.
But that's it. You see, the red. We see that
Hey,
you're a
hey, can you
criminal.
bring that up real quick? Well, no.
Oh.
Anybody else got it?
Yeah.
John 10:10, the thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. I am come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly.
This is Esau MO, man. You know, Esau, what? He steal, he kill, destroy. Hey, this man steals lands, he steals people, he steals heritages. You know, hey, he stole your money. He said, you know what? Give us paper.
We gonna give you this paper and we gonna take your gold.
We gonna take your gold. You know what I'm saying? Give you this paper.
This paper gonna be good because I'm a bag it. My word go bag it.
My word stands on this.
Says my word gonna be good.
You know what I mean?
All right, quick one.
Bring it out, brother.
Proverbs 28:8. He that by usury and unjust gain increaseth his substance, he shall gather it for him that will pity the poor. So, hey, though they heap up silver, hey, the just is gonna get it. Hey, the scriptures say we're gonna spend his goods riotously, man.
Run that.
All right. The scriptures say he that
we gonna spend that shit. We gonna go crazy with that shit.
Esau's gonna learn some slang. They gonna understand what run that means. A whole bunch of other.
And you know, Jake, wow, why,
Break
man?
yourself, all that. They gonna learn.
Give me this shit, nigga. I am not a nigger. You in a day.
Yeah, you are. Yes, you are. You've always been there. This is Job 13:4, and it says, "But ye are forces of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value, man." So they lie to everyone and themselves, man. All right. Hell, Democrats lie to the Republicans, and vice versa, and then they lie within their own party.
And they're fucking liars. They of their father the devil, and his deeds they will do. You know, and like you said, this whole system that was set up, it was set up to fail, and your own people are now getting bit in the ass, man.
It was set up on purpose.
Right.
To fail.
It was purposely set up to fail. See, Jake just dealt with that shit. Jake just took it. But see, when Esau starts to feel the effects of this skullduggery, it's gonna be violence, man. It's gonna be blood in the streets.
Yeah, because Jake catch on to everything late, like the EINs and the credit profiles and the taxes and the loopholes. You know, like you hear what's the Waka Flocka talking about the loopholes or how they. But this what Esau been doing. But now Esau can't run to that shit. Because all of his money system is failing, man. So all of the ways where Esau was able to keep his money, you know, all the ways that Esau was able to keep his money, man, that shit out the fucking window now, man. You know.
Shout out to your brother, their brother Tajwan on the comment.
Shalom.
Hamburger.
Yeah, read that scripture.
This is Ecclesiastes 12:4. And the door shall be shut in the streets when the Lord was lacking, when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Hey man, so hey, when all hell getting ready to prove, this economy is getting ready to completely take a downward spiral. It's already been in a downward spiral, but it's getting ready to tank completely.
Yeah,
you know,
it's like I said in the beginning. You got EU and NATO nations that have already dropped the dollar. And America's number one ally, which is the Israelis, they've dropped the dollar. So, but the only place that the dollar hasn't completely crashed yet is here in America. And that's because they can just keep printing and propping it up. But they won't be able to do that much longer, man. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it's just like you've heard all these economists say. You're going to go to your banks, and everything going to be fine the night before. You went out and had steak, went to the movies, went to the mo, and got it in with the other dude's wife. You had a good old time. True. And then in the morning you're gonna wake up, and and all of a sudden you're gonna turn on the news and it's gonna be complete. Hey, the stock market just crashed.
Yeah.
Just now. 1,000 points, man.
And you know
Shit.
Oh, y'all didn't know that, huh? Yeah. Stock market crashed Friday morning.
It sure did. It went red. They were showing it. It went red.
Distraction news.
And it was
distracted
just
by
going
bullshit.
down. I was saying, look, that's the stock market.
It sure did. It
Yeah.
sure did. It went
The
down.
Caribbean that you put in there was about the bank. They went to and
Oh yeah, the banks was out of money.
And that was
Yeah.
last week.
right. They went to the bank and then the
Yeah.
dude was like, "Hey," and it showed a real long line of people trying to go to the bank to get their money, and he's saying like, "Ain't no money in there."
Yeah.
They're basically in line for nothing because by the time they get up there to go see,
It's gonna really be nothing.
It's gonna be
And that was
nothing.
that was also in the British Islands too. So you're right. So those in the American controlled islands, also in the British island, in British controlled islands, which is becoming fewer and fewer because more of those islands are separated from Britain, and eventually they're gonna say, they're gonna say "f you" to Americans too. Bring it out, brother.
This is Obadiah 1:5. It says, if thieves came to thee,
Butterfingers.
Yeah, Bonnie got that posted too. Go
would
ahead.
they not have stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes?
That's
All
it.
right, and when you look up where Esau got a lot of the gold reserves and the oil reserves, it was the Gadite lands. All right, just like up in South Dakota.
Or the Black Hills. And I think the Black Hills had silver and gold in it. As a matter of fact, they showed you that in that Johnny Depp movie when they the Lone Ranger.
Yep, yep.
They how they were killing off all the murdering them Gadites for all that silver that was in the Black Hills.
Even California.
Yeah, that's the 49 Silver Mountain.
The Oregon Trail and stuff. That was the land they gave to Gad, but then they later reneged again. And they did that multiple times.
Multiple times, all the time.
All the time.
Oh, that's it. All 400
Yeah, they
some
broke.
treaties.
They made over 500 treaties,
Yeah.
and they broke every one of them.
Even the diamond mines in West Africa, which are owned by the Beer diamond mines, which are owned by the Oppenheimers.
Yeah, that's part of the clique right there. The Oppenheimers, the Bilderbergs, the DuPonts, the Gettys, the Rothschilds. All this is part of that same damn clique. And whatnot, like you said, and the 1%ers, the infuriated now the rest of the Edomites around the world because they not included in the scheme of things. Okay, so
Hey, they can't the housing market. They can't buy a house no more. The housing market is terrible right now. It's hard as hell to get a car right now.
that's it.
You know, everything is scary. Huh?
Rent is like 2,300 something.
Yeah, I mean, you go look at houses. You go look at houses. Houses that used to be 200,000 are now 300,000, 325,000. You know what I mean? Half a million. You know what I'm saying?
If you're in a six-figure guy, your income ain't 6 figures. They ain't even trying to talk to you.
Right. You know.
Yeah, that's why all the people. What's that part of town? Let me go.
When that mortgage goes up, the rent go up because the people that own your buildings, they probably refinance or whatever.
Okay.
Now they get hit with more interest or a
So they
higher
pass it.
mortgage.
So it's gonna be hard to
Now their
buy
rent's going up.
a property.
Even rent, some bitch her rent was like 1,200, 1,500, and for a 2-bedroom, she said, a 2-bedroom apartment. And now it was like over $2,000. And they can do that shit out of nowhere. Like with the building, that mortgage tripled. You know, at one point the mortgage was one price. Out of nowhere, they just tripled the mortgage. They don't have to give you a heads up. They just send you the letter. Oh no, you owe this much for this month. Now it ain't the same. It ain't that no more.
It's funny. That's like them adjustable mortgages used to be where they just decide to flip on your ass, and all of a sudden here we go.
Hey, cause the interest rate be changed. Yeah.
There's private industries out here buying up all the homes right now.
Yeah, I see that on there.
They're buying them up big time all over the country.
Yeah.
Just like you got Bill Stakes out there. He's buying up all the farmland and stuff like that. They have another entity buying up the homes right now to shut everybody down.
Shock
You're gonna need
predators.
to a roof over your head, and how you gonna get it without any money or anything like
You
that,
know they
right?
fall into-
Or abiding to their system.
If you ain't getting that ship, you ain't getting that house.
Doritos.
Right. And so, right, and with all this stuff that's going on, you brought it out yesterday, man. How Jacob's becoming a terror unto Esau, man.
Right.
Because with all this is increased, and Jake got hit hard, so it created a lot of homelessness, and now Jake been riding that red line all the way up, up toward Rogers Park, getting off that train and realizing that
Flops.
they've been flopping and robbing Edomites, man. And now I'm looking at the map of Chicago.
Man, Jake knows.
You know what? I think I'm gonna send this shit.
Give me that shit.
Bring it up on the screen.
Yeah, that crime up there. at the end over there.
It's
playing top
increasing.
of that,
In
up there by
those
Howard.
neighborhoods where it's never
Oh,
happened
yeah,
before.
They got
It's
robbing police
It's
forces.
locked.
now.
Yep.
Last night
Yep.
they called the 29th State, one of the 29th State Street buses running about 10, 11 o'clock. Oh, then I said, damn, what the 29th State Street bus?
Northbound.
Yup, they cut that off. And southbound. And cut that shit off southbound too. One on State Street bus, one on southbound, one on 20th State Street bus, one in northbound between 10 and 11 o'clock, man. They cut that shit off.
Because they were robbing people and shit on the 29.
Just by the red line and shit.
Yeah.
They ain't want no niggas come up.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
They take it, bring them right up to the to the Gold Coast. I mean to the what's they called Streeterville.
Streeterville, Con. Streeterville. River North, Streeterville.
It takes them right through the loop, straight to Streeterville.
And
Right
they
to the Navy Pier.
And they shut down some of the red line stops and shit. The one that Marshall Field.
See, because with them spraying all that shit, keeping it cold, the homeless street element stayed on the trains long.
Exactly.
So a lot of people a lot of victims of robbery circle around the trains.
Yeah.
They stay close to the train so they can jump back on and get up out of there.
Yeah,
So they do crimes close around the train, then try to get back to the train again.
Yep.
All right, and so they hitting up them neighborhoods, man. So Andersonville was getting hit hard. Lincoln Park was
Lakeview.
was getting hit hard. Lakeview,
They've
all
been
those
getting
places.
flops in Lakeview.
So now, people, you got that map up yet?
You send it
Yeah, I sent it to you, brother.
to
I sent it straight to you.
Okay, I haven't got it yet.
But
Yeah, they've been getting the flops in Lakeview, man. Like for real, people be getting carjacked, beat up. All right, that beat them up. They've been getting robbed, all type of shit over there in Lakeview. And you know, Lakeview is a very popular alphabet community.
And
You know,
well, it used to be majority J.
Boys Town.
in
Right.
Lakeview.
Lakeview. I remember as a child going to Lakeview, and Lakeview was all Northern and Southern Kingdom, so-called Negro, Latino, Native
Yeah, it was
American.
mostly Ephraim up there
Yeah, yeah.
because then part of Lakeview was connected to Boys Town. I mean
Right.
to Wrigleyville. And Wrigleyville, going back long, was close to it connected to Humboldt Park. That was all.
Humble Park.
And that was all. That was a lot of Jake in that whole area.
Yeah, all of
Because I was just looking at that map.
That's crazy.
I was just looking at that map, and
Yeah, division. All
yeah,
that.
I sent it to you. I meant to send it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, people don't know about that. Lakeview used to be all J. Now that's been so gentrified, a lot of people think that was it's all Edom, Esau, but no, it wasn't. That was J.
Yeah, and I didn't realize how big Humboldt Park was, man.
It's huge.
It was real huge when we
Yeah.
had Westtown to it because Westtown
Con.
was Humboldt Park,
Yeah.
and a lot of and it also was a lot of Wicker Park. That was Humboldt Park too. That was all Humboldt Park, man. And they call it Wicker Park now.
Yep.
So Wicker Park and Bucktown are kind of new things because that was all mostly Ephraim. That was Northern Kingdom. All out there.
Yeah.
I
They
mean,
have
they
really
used to
big
have
areas
a
out there.
sign, "Get out,
Western
Gringo" and
Division,
shit.
all
That
of
shit.
them.
I'm like, damn.
But you got these people. Did you get it yet?
I'm sending it up. Right?
Good, but he'll show you on the map. But you got Lincoln Park, Lakeview, and Andersonville.
Getting broke off.
And Andersonville is close to Edgewater because they don't actually have Andersonville on the map. But Lincoln Park, Lakeview, and Andersonville the crimes is so bad, and also in parts of Humboldt Park that all these people are taking all that money and they moving up to the red part. The red part is up there. They moving to Forest Glen, Albany Park, and North Park. That's the area that they moving to. Jefferson Park.
Jefferson Park.
They moving. They
That's
trying
further north, like the airport.
going toward the airport. So they moving way out there to get away from the violence because they said this has never happened in our neighborhood before. See, the Lord is making them. America ain't gonna be safe nowhere because out in California it's the same thing. In Malibu and
Silicon Valley and all that.
In Beverly Hills and all that, the Jakes out there are robbing people. They're doing what they call follow home robberies out in California.
Yeah.
So what they do is they sit back. They'll be in the Gucci store, in a Michael Kors store, and they'll see people who make big purchases. And then when they leave, they'll leave out behind them and follow them. And what they're doing is they wait. What they're doing. This is happening in California. So basically what they're doing is they rushing them at the door when they're going in the house. So when you got your back, turning your key, that's when they running up on them and pushing them in the house and robbing them. And now that they're in the house, they figure, nigga, if you just bought, $3,000-$4,000 worth of Gucci and other $5,000
We
worth.
know you
of,
got something in the house.
Then they get in the house and they robbing them and boning the bitches and taking the jewelry and everything. They doing that shit out in California, man.
You made a funny comment when you said follow the drip.
So did I not say that they was gonna start doing home invasions? You know, all that's gonna increase, man. So if they doing that just to get a belt, to get a purse, a Coach bag.
Well, shit, them bags cost $3,000, $4,000,
How much more are they gonna be doing that when it's food? When it's
Thank you. I was getting ready to say that.
And see, Chicago is weird because when you looking at that map, they're right there in the middle. That little gray area where the red and yellow is, that's not Chicago. And the gray area, that little streak line, follow the arrow, the line. No, where the red is connecting to the red. No, go to the end. See that little line? That's Chicago. If you come off that little area, you're not in Chicago anymore. But then when you go through that, you in Chicago again. Ain't that some weird shit?
Yeah, because that's the airport over here.
You know, that's some weird shit.
That little
This
gray
the
shit.
airport.
Right.
And if you go up here, like you said, this is the airport. Any area around here that's still technically Chicago.
Well, those are the Chicago suburbs, but it's not the city of Chicago. But that little gray area, right in the middle, that's not Chicago.
That's right.
Even though it's right in the middle, and it's weird, man. But you see, down there in the purple and the yellow, and even some parts of the blue, they moving way up to the red, and those are very wealthy neighborhoods.
Oh yeah, that's Glen Cove,
right.
Highland Park.
They move. Well, they're not going that far.
Okay.
But they moving. But yeah, up above there, that's Glen Cove, Highland Park. That's where the real money is. Big money.
Big
all right?
money.
All right. But a lot of them got condos and shit downtown.
Yeah,
They got the $1 million condos downtown.
Those are millionaires that
Yeah,
couldn't get out.
because what they would do, they drive into the city for the weekend.
Right.
So they stay at their $1 million condo. But that's how Esau had it though. His kingdom was set up for him.
That's it.
But it's so much violence happening in these areas, that where it never happened before. Up there in the purple, the yellow, the red,
Right.
that is these Edomites, they fleeing for no reason though, because what it's going to show you that you never
Jake
never
on that
seen
ass.
crime. Let me go over to the screen. You didn't see crime like you seeing now,
Professor.
in these areas. You didn't see crime in these areas here. The crime is all down here. The Northern Kingdom, Southern Kingdom.
And this yellow
Mixture
part,
of Northern
and
Kingdom
this
Southern
yellow
Kingdom.
part right here,
And,
west side.
well, in Humble Park only.
But that's west side. That's
On
far
the
west side too.
yeah. So you're right. West side area, you saw issues there. But now the crimes that are happening here, because all these people will come in here to get their drugs. All
Right.
right. All these wealthy people, they will come in here to get their drugs. Okay. But now you got violence happening in these parts of Chicago where it never happened before, man. So it's going to show you that the Lord is he's shutting this place down, man.
I got a precept.
Go ahead, brother.
This is Micah chapter 5, verse 8. And the remnant of Jacob shall be among the Gentiles in the midst of many people, as a lion among the beasts of the forest, as a young lion among the flocks of sheep, who if he go through both treadeth down and teareth in pieces, and none can deliver. And due to gentrification, like the elder was saying, man, Jake is venturing out to go where people actually got something, because our people ain't got shit.
And
And guess what? Hey, like I said, gentrification. Esau moving in, thinking shit sweet, whole time.
Especially in Humble
things are
Park.
getting bad.
He gonna make a mix. I'm gonna come down there to 55th in Indiana, where property taxes was low, but they was giving me all kinds of HUD money to rehab this stuff. So I came in, I was able to put chandeliers and this, that, and other all down there in 55th in Indiana and Calumet and this, that, and other.
Right.
So now I got a building that's worth $300,000, but guess what?
Just worth more than that,
It
right there.
didn't keep up. So now the market is crashing again, and now what was supposed to be pushing these niggas out, they ain't going nowhere.
It turned out, yeah.
Hey, but shit.
That's why that Whole Foods
That Whole Foods closed,
They were
yeah.
trying to gentrify that whole area.
Yeah.
That's how they do it. Put a Whole Foods and Starbucks there. Now, check this out. I don't know how it works like that. Bro, I'm telling you, it always starts with a Whole Foods and a Starbucks.
Yeah.
Or Mariano's and the Starbucks.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's what they do. But
Well, the same thing happened here. What you just said, I gotta show you, man. Look,
Professor.
You're right.
right here. This area right here. That's where the steel mill used to be. And that's where, right, and that's that, and they were gonna make this a sanctuary where they were gonna have all that lakefront property, where they were gonna do
East
big ass
side.
homes with the docks that where you just park your big ass yacht on your dock.
Oh, right. And the
they were
airport.
right, and that's because first they were actually talking about putting a casino there once, and then they was also talking about making it a Disneyland.
Right.
All right, but none of that, and then came that with the 2008 crash shut all them plans down. All right, because they had a Mariano's they was about to build right here. Now all they did was build a road through there, so you can get from the lakefront to the east side and to Headwish, fast now. That's all it is.
Yep.
And they used to, and now they fucked it up so bad, because there used to be heavy forest back there, but they've been spraying so much shit, all the trees are dead. The damn deer can't even hide no more.
They actually they got it planned. They getting ready to so-called build the new casino right by Cabrini.
Right where the
old dojo was. Right.
That River North area, right there in Chicago by the bridge.
Yep.
I hope not. Well, the trip they gonna tear all that down on both sides, and they were gonna put them high-rise buildings with big dock. They was gonna make it like the river walk all along there.
Hey, that shit is hot over there. Cause I work over there.
But the people over there don't want it.
No, they show.
But it ain't gonna happen anyway. America's gonna shut down.
Thank you.
They about to fill their belly, man.
People hemorrhaging money. It's a wrap. They lose
So
money.
that's a pipe dream, and that's also distraction news from the real shit that's going on, man. Like the threat of the next wave, even though they saying everything all right, slowing down with the venom situation, but they already talking about the next wave in the fall. All right, and
there's still certain places where you still can't.
China shut down because of
Go to the post office. You still need your facial breathing restrictions.
Still need your face condom.
Yeah. Oh man. I went to go send a package.
No, in the hospitals,
At the hospital and the schools.
UPS.
And the schools, right?
You go to the UPS store.
You know it's coming back, and that shit's a vexation spirit. I did a lesson the other day. That shit coming back.
Some of that white stuff.
This is 2 Corinthians 15,
Some of that
19,
white stuff.
18. Or because of their pride, the city shall be troubled.
That's right.
And houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. Right now, this is the beginning of those sorrows, like it says in the next chapter. Mount was going into those follow home robberies they doing, man. That's just the beginning, man. It's really that's gonna be the trend. That's gonna be trending.
That's it, exactly.
I'm trying
to
yeah, so you got guys that's sitting up scoping, seeing who's making the big purchases.
Hey, what was
then
that?
they tell them and wait for them to get out their car and they catch you going in the door, man. When you raise up your garage, when you pulling it in, they roll right in there and let your garage close.
And Esau know they coming through because I believe it's Washington, the state Washington. I believe it is Washington. They decriminalized robbery. Like they don't even if you go into a store, they don't arrest you if you're still up under a certain number. I believe it's
No, you mean shoplifting.
Right.
Yeah, they decriminalized shoplifting. They did it. They did it out west in a lot of places because it was getting so bad. And as a matter of fact, I heard that they doing the same shit in New York too. They just walking in, they walk in the stores and just load up their bags and just walk out.
Oh, they do that here in Chicago.
Look at that, man. They do that every day. No, but you know what?
Yeah.
That's crazy though, because that goes back to that little
So
book and that.
if you got Salaki, brother, if you a business owner, insurance ain't gonna keep covering and paying for you. Eventually,
Exactly.
Because it's like, okay, I'm making. It's like, man, you making.
If you ain't got
insurance claim
security.
every week. Well, it's like, every week somebody walk in and load up my shelf to steal all my shit, and then I ain't making no profit. I can't pay.
Damn.
You know what I mean? So how the business is gonna even these big huge chains gonna start shutting.
That spirit. Walgreens. It says.
Oh yeah,
Oh my
Walgreens.
God.
Yeah.
I think it says San Francisco has become. Yep, San Francisco has become a shoplifter's paradise. Walgreens has closed 22 stores in the city.
Damn.
Where thefts under $9.50 are effectively decriminalized.
Damn.
So that's a big chain.
Oh, yeah.
Walgreens.
Yeah. So,
$950.
Still over $1,000.
Right.
And then they come in with a calculator. Come in and take your time.
Right.
I do need some. Oh, they got strawberry shortcakes?
I saw the dude robbing like it's Walgreens.
You have enough in your bag.
He went behind the counter and started putting stuff in his bag.
I seen it too, yeah.
Somebody got mad on the side. He smacked it with a banana. He smacked it with a banana. Like, get the fuck out of here. He just walked out. Yeah. Like got the little bananas by the cash register.
I see.
From behind the counter.
I
Smacked him with the banana.
I seen one where the security was recording the nigga stealing out of Walgreens. Yeah, the security.
But you know what that's setting up? That's setting up that when they have to go to the MOTB fully, then people go. People go used to going in the store and being able to do that, and then motherfuckers gonna be getting gunned down.
What now? Check this out though. When you go on the Walgreens, the Walgreens on 147th and Kedzie, they got metal doors on their fucking freezers. It's metal doors on their freezers, and they got camera. It's a camera at the top of the freezer, and it's a camera at the doorknob of the freezer, and it's like a little scanner. When you walk up on it, it tell you everything that's in
I
there.
heard about that on the video too.
I made a video done. I seen it. Yeah.
It's in a lot of the Walgreens,
God.
so they setting it up for for the upgrade to where you use your hand and your forehead.
Well, no, and that'd be perfect.
Which is found in Revelation the 13th chapter.
For the person that's got that, like that commercial where old boy went and picked up all the stuff and he walked out.
Oh yeah, in the 90s, early, yeah.
It's about 6-7 years old, but it's completely relevant now. They was scoffing.
I was older than that.
He had on the
that video from the 90s.
For that coat, a duster.
God.
Yeah, like a cowboy coat, the duster.
Right.
Yeah, he had on a big ass duster. And he was stuffing all his pockets.
And it had that old ass motherfucking music.
Exactly.
And it showed you the security guard watching the cop.
Right.
He walked through the turnstile. He said, "Hey, you forgot your receipt."
Yeah, but that's
That was an IBM commercial in the 90s. Yeah.
Like I said, it's setting up for that, but for the person that don't have the MOTB,
They ain't getting that. They
trying to go out the store and get gunned down.
Or they may not be able to get in.
Right.
No, he's saying the people. What he said. No, what Pops is trying to say is that the people who get it's going to create violence because people going to be jacking the people who get the stuff with the MOT.
And we waiting right out the door, right outside the door.
Yeah, that's what he's trying to say. You like, I knew what you was trying to say, brother. You weren't clear on it.
Oh, Salah.
It's not they ain't like the follow you long. They gonna just take the groceries.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, we always
Yoink.
we always talk about that one clip with Big Brody.
Right.
He don't like piss on himself.
Right.
You know.
I mean, see, but come on.
Right.
See, Jake, what Jake is known for, man, especially when it gets warm. These older Jake, these elderly Jake, and the younger Jake, they sit out in the front. They sit on their lawns. They sit on their fucking and they watch motherfuckers.
Porch monkeys.
They porch. What'd you say?
Porch monkeys.
They porch motherfucking monkeys, man.
But you know what? Edomites do the same shit.
They
But anyway,
no, they do.
Because they'll crack jokes and talk about it. But you go through their neighborhoods and they go
sell rocking chairs and still they
Right. Now the thing is, when
She
you see,
relaxing.
oh look, they got a brand new car. Oh look, they want to do this. Oh look, about the bam.
They get a lot of packages.
Right.
That's too. You watch you get your Amazon packages. They run up taking your shit.
Size up
That's
your
everybody
neighbor.
goddamn cameras on your doorbell.
Man, how many packages got stolen from this
That
shit?
one nigga pulled out that big ass chopper on that nigga. He tried to
Yeah.
snatch thing off the porch.
Put it back.
Man, put my shit back, nigga.
Right.
My bad, man. Come on, man.
Really watching your packages. That shit crazy.
Yeah.
He about to blow his ass.
He
Still kind of green tree.
It's the green tree.
Whatever you want to buy.
Right.
If somebody grab that scripture,
I'm finna get it right now.
Yeah, get that.
I'm
Get
finna get it
that.
right now.
We gonna rap with that one too.
you can still buy shit at a decent price. You can still buy them. Go to Aldi's and get shit at a decent price, man.
Aldi's actually got a lot of.
And good quality.
Yeah.
All they doing.
Yeah, well, all these, in case y'all didn't know, all these and Trader Joe's, they the two owners are brothers, and they actually kind of enemies. They kind of into
Man, Trader Joe's got some of the best $4 wine I ever had.
They were, because those are German companies, and they actually were together once, but I guess they went all these together, and the one brother didn't want to sell cigarettes in his store, and the other brother wanted to.
Wow.
And so that's where the conflict came in.
Okay, so Trader
It's like
Joe's.
fuck you, and then the other brother bought Trader Joe's out of California. So now, so that's why they kind of similar, and they got better stuff than a lot of the other stores.
The wet cigarette.
This is Luke 23:31. It says, "For if they do these things in the green tree, what shall be done in the rock?"
Man, you know what? It's so spiritual because most of the trees are half dead.
That's right. So
You know, the majority of them, they half bloom or just completely dead. So it
shit on
still is
fire.
in a green tree, but but it's a half dead green tree.
Exactly.
The shit is fucked up out there because
It's been translated,
a
bro.
lot of people can't survive, man. So those dark days are close at hand, and I kept saying through the spirit, man, that it looked like it was gonna hit in July, and it actually looks like probably right after 4th of July, because they're gonna try to hold out, and after the 4th, you're gonna start seeing drastic changes and more draconian measures and more shit getting pushed.
Independence
And
Day.
then the famine's gonna hit in because they destroyed the food avenues, man. And so in America has a 90-day supply. And when that 90 days run out from that time,
It's on
it ain't gonna
purge.
it ain't gonna be right. Exactly. then you're gonna have your forever purge. And if you haven't seen the movie, I suggest you watch it.
That's right.
Because the movie is spiritual as hell. It wasn't the best of the purge movies, but it was very spiritual, especially the way the
Get rid of the brownies.
came together, man. Right.
They
Right,
say
they were forced
this.
to.
Yeah.
Because they realized we got the same damn enemy.
Con.
Right. They the problem.
Con.
Right.
It really would show you what the purge was about in the first place.
And also, what it was about. It was always to get rid of the undesirables, including the rednecks and the trailer trash. They don't want them either. So he shitted on his own people, man. Right, but it also shows you too in that movie the Israelite foreigners.
God.
All right, that showed that element. It gets portrayed in that movie too. All right, so but with that, man, we're gonna give all praises, all honor and glory
to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Rekakodash, Abba,